Hi, it's Miss House. Let's take a look at how you get registered for MyMathLab. You'll notice when you're in Canvas on the home page, you can see this menu and you're going to go to this My Labs and Mastering link. Once you click on that, you're going to see this Open My Lab and Mastering. This is the cover of what the textbook would look like if you had a physical copy of the textbook. Whenever you're entering MyMathLab, not just for registration, but throughout the semester, you want to always use this link instead of these links down here. You want to go into the full MyMathLab. The first thing you're going to encounter is a EULA agreement. That's an end user license agreement. This is a typical license agreement. You can read through that about data privacy and such. So you have to click on accept there. Once you click on that, you're going to come to a sign-in page. If you have a previous Pearson account, you can enter your login and password if you remember it. If you don't, you can go to this link, forgot your username or password, or you can create a new account. Since I already have one, I'm going to go ahead and just click sign in. Now, if you create an account, you're going to have to put in an email address and create your user ID and password. Use your Shelton State email address for this, because if you use the Ask My Instructor feature, I have to reply and it'll go to your Shelton email address if you do that. Not your Canvas email address, but your Shelton email address. So use your Shelton email address if you create a new account. And so you'll see all the stuff that you have to fill in if you do that. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and sign in since I have an account. Now, once I do that, I'm going to come to this registration page where I would enter my access code if I have purchased it. If I would like to buy MyMathLab at this point, you would use the 18-week code. You don't need a 24-month code because this course is only 8 weeks long. So this is the least expensive code. And of course, you can also purchase it from the bookstore. Now, if you buy from anywhere other than the bookstore, you need to buy it here, because not every MyMathLab code will work for your book. So you can't go to eBay or Amazon. You have to go through either Pearson or the school bookstore. If you don't already have your access code, or if you would like to get 2 free weeks to make sure that this is the course for you, there's a temporary access without payment for 14 days. So go ahead and click on the temporary access. And it says, are you sure you want temporary access? It's going to give you 2 weeks where you can log in without having to pay. So you would say yes. Now, this is not going to work for me because I'm not a student. But if you were a student, that would work for you at that point. At that point, you should be registered and into MyMathLab. And when you click on Open My Labs and Mastering, it should take you automatically into MyMathLab. So let me leave the student view and go into my view, and I can go ahead and open my Labs and Mastering and show you what you'll see over here. When you use that link, this gold link and not the links down here, you'll come in and you'll see everything that's available for you in MyMathLab. Here's a purchase option. It'll take you to the right place. If you use a temporary code, a couple of days before it expires, you should use this to buy it or buy it from the bookstore. When you come in, you'll come into a course home and you'll see assignments that have been added. So here are the assignments, and they're also going to be listed down here at the bottom. The due dates will be also listed. Okay. Here's the day they're posted. Here's when they're due. The due dates are showing right here. If you click on the assignments link, you'll see all of the assignments that have been loaded thus far. Notice that these have a blue dot. That means these are a homework assignment, and they will be counted in the homework category in your Canvas gradebook. So as you work inside of MyMathLab, those grades get transferred over to the Canvas gradebook where you can view your weighted average. When you click on the student gradebook link, you will be able to see all of the scores of the assignments that you have completed. You'll also be able to review them from this link, and I'll show you that in a few minutes after I submit an assignment. When you click on the e-text link, you'll be able to access pages from the textbook. You can print out one page at a time if you would like. If you want to buy the actual book, you can email me and I will give you the ISBN. We don't sell the physical book on campus anymore, but you can buy it from Pearson and on Amazon and other places. Each of these are chapters in the book. We actually start at chapter 3. This is a review chapter, and these are both algebra chapters. They're not calculus chapters. So the actual calculus starts at chapter 3. And you'll notice there is an integrated review if you'd like to do some of the algebra. Just as practice, you can do that. We will only cover the first 4 sections in chapter 3 this semester. Once you click on the section number, you have a video presentation. I'll also post these in assignments. You have links to the e-text, and you have links to the study plan. Study plan is not graded. It's just a place for you to go and get some extra practice. All right, so let's go back to assignments. Now, these first 2 assignments are videos, and they're only going to count 1 point in your overall score, whereas homeworks will count 100 points. So they really don't count a lot, but I highly recommend you watch these, as well as videos that I may post over in Canvas. You click on the video link, and it'll tell you how long it is. So the lectures tend to be about 30 to 45 minutes. So you just click on that, and it's going to open up. And you've got all these other things that you can do.
I'm Professor Hartfield. In this section, we're going to discuss the transitional concept that takes us from algebra to calculus called a limit.
So there's a video that details everything within the section there. And again, these count very little in your average, but I highly recommend that you watch them and you take notes. So once you go into homework, you will see that it tells you the due date. Okay. Now there's a later due date spelled out on your calendar, which is the day of the test. You have unlimited attempts per question. There are 30 questions over 2 sections. So they're usually about evenly divided. It just depends on the section. So you'll start by clicking on the question number, and the question will pop up. Now you have to have your pop-up blocker turned off so that these can open up. So when you're doing a homework assignment in MyMathLab, you'll see that there are links down here at the bottom for help. Help me solve this helps you with this specific problem. The moment you close the help me solve this, this regenerates and changes slightly. View an example is pretty popular because you can just have it open at the same time and you can look at the example, and then as soon as you're done, you can enter your answer here. More help, textbook, or ask my instructor. Sometimes there will be a video here, but in this case, it's just a link to your book where you can read about it, or to ask me for help. Now, if you use the Ask My Instructor link, it's going to go to my Shelton email, and my reply will go to your Shelton email and not to Canvas. But you're welcome to use this on problems that you have trouble with. Now, if you enter an answer that's wrong, let's just say I put an answer in here, and that's wrong, okay? When I enter it after 3 times, it's going to mark it wrong. But notice it gives you the correct answer, and you can ask for a similar question. Now, before I ask for a similar question, I want to show you something. What shows here is the correct answer. It's not what you entered. To see what you entered, you have to click on the little red triangle. And here I can ask for a similar question. And even though this one is marked wrong here, if I answer it correctly, then this little red X is going to change to a green check. And then it's going to automatically take you on to the next question. So you should complete your homework problems, hopefully to 100%. because you can continue to do those until you get them all right. Now, once you leave here, you hit save, and your score is going to go ahead and update. But my current score is only 3%. Well, I can come back to this at any time. I can close this out, okay? And I can come back at any time until the due date, and it will let me pick right up where I left off. And when you see an assignment with a orange square, that's going to be a quiz, and that's going to go into the quiz category in your Canvas gradebook. When you click on the name of the quiz, it will tell you the number of questions, the due date, and that there's a 20% penalty if you submit it late. Remember that all assignments must be submitted by the date of the test, and those are on your course calendar. Once you start the test, you'll have to submit the entire quiz without stopping. Okay, so you want to submit all of the questions without stopping, and so I'll just answer a couple. I won't even answer them correctly. I'll just make up some stuff just to show you that, oops, you got to complete all the parts or it will warn you. Anyway, as you answer the questions, you go from question to question, read and answer, of course. And what's going to happen when you submit it, if you've forgotten any, it's going to tell you that there's some parts, and it's going to tell you have unanswered questions. So I'm going to go ahead and submit it to show you that once you have submitted the quiz, you're going to see that some of the questions have videos or other resources. Because when you go back to review, you're going to see all of the help resources that are available for each of the questions. Okay, so you can go in, you can see examples and all that during the review. So you want to make sure that you take the quiz again until you have a score that you are happy with. And again, I highly recommend you try to do these without any notes or resources, because this is what tells you whether or not you're ready for a test. Now, the other thing that you might find useful here is a video and resources library. When you click on this, you can go to the chapter. Let's say you're working on chapter 3 and you're working on rates of change 3.3, and you want to see if there are any animations. You just do Find Now, and you'll see there's an animation here, and you can click on that, and you can use that animation to help you understand the concept.
In this activity, we are going to find the average rate of change of a function. For the function g of x equals x squared minus.
So utilize that library to help you find things that you think will help you to complete the materials. Now, the only kind of assignment that you haven't seen yet is a test, and the test will be set up just like the quizzes, except you'll only have one attempt to take your tests. The icon for a test is a green triangle. So as we get closer to test 1, that test is going to show up after we finish chapter 4. And the last thing I want to talk about here is the study plan link. When you go to the study plan, if you have completed an assignment, you can click on that assignment link, and you can see the questions that you missed, based on these purple push pins. So because I took that chapter 3 quiz, it's showing me that these are the things that I need to work on. And this is unlimited practice that you can do on these concepts. So that's just a basic overview of MyMathLab. I hope you'll utilize all of the features that are available to you, and that you will take your assignments seriously and try to do them without any apps or websites so that you can learn the content and do well on tests.